Once upon a time, in a kingdom draped in gold, glory and peace, there lived a king, wise, proud, and curious. One day, he called upon his council, the greatest minds in his realm. "I have bought one of the most beautiful diamonds in the world," the king said. "I wish to hide beneath it a message, a short message, which can be kept in the ring below the diamond. One that will guide me and those who rule after me in the darkest of times." But though the scholars were clever, none could find the words. They wrote long verses, crafted poems, spun philosophies, but nothing was short enough, powerful enough, to fit beneath the diamond. Disheartened, the king left his court and went into his chamber. There, waiting quietly, stood his old servant, the man who had raised him since childhood. The king shared his dilemma. "My lord," he said, "I am not learned, but once, a wizard who served your father shared a message with me. He said it carries the power to heal any heart in despair. He wrote something on a small piece of paper. Do not read it now," he said softly. "Keep it hidden beneath the diamond. Read it only when all hope seems lost." Time passed and the day of darkness came. The kingdom was attacked by its enemy. It was burning. The enemy's banners filled the horizon. The king's army was loosing. It was broken. He rode through the smoke and chaos, his cloak torn, his breath sharp. Behind him, the thunder of enemy hooves. Ahead was a cliff. Below was an endless drop into darkness. The king looked around. No soldiers, no escape, just the roar of the wind and the echo of defeat. His hands trembled. His heart pounded like the drums of war. And in that moment, when despair closed in, he remembered the ring. He took out the hidden parchment, unfolded it, and read 3 simple words: "This too shall pass." And suddenly, everything changed. The noise vanished, the fear melted, the world stilled. He closed his eyes, and a deep calm washed over him. In no time, his brother, a mighty king from the nearby kingdom, swooped in to save him as the enemy lost their trail in the woods. The king was safe. He returned to his kingdom, victorious. The people cheered, banners waved, the air alive with celebration. The old servant stood beside him and whispered, "My lord, this is also the right moment to read the message again." The king laughed. "Now when I've won, when the world sings my name." The old man smiled. "Yes, my king. This message is not only for despair, but also for triumph." The king opened the parchment again. "This too shall pass." And in that moment, even amid victory, the king felt the same silence he'd felt before, when he was losing the battle. The pride, the joy, the glory, all softened. He understood, everything changes, pain passes. So does joy, the storm outside, and the storm within. Both fade into peace. Years passed, and peace returned to the kingdom. The wise king ruled with compassion and balance, for he knew the secret rhythm of life, the rise and fall, the ebb and flow, the truth behind the words, "This too shall pass." But fate, as always, writes its own chapters. One winter night, without warning, the great king fell gravely ill. No sword, no army, no wisdom could stop what destiny had written. The queen, heartbroken, sat by his bedside. The king, weak yet calm, held her trembling hand. "My love, within my ring lies the truth that guided me through life. When your heart trembles in sorrow, open it. Let these words comfort you, as they once saved me." And with a final exhale, the king was gone. The queen wept. The palace dimmed in grief. Days turned to weeks, and the queen wandered the halls, empty, lost her soul, heavy with silence. Until one night, beneath the pale glow of the moon, she remembered his words. She took off the ring, the same ring that once gleamed on the king's hand, and opened it. Inside, the same parchment, the same message, "This too shall pass." As she read those words, her tears quieted. The pain didn't vanish, but its weight softened. She felt his presence in the silence, gentle, eternal. And from that night, she ruled in his name until their son, a boy of great heart and courage, came of age. Years later, the young prince became king, wise like his father, compassionate like his mother. But peace, as always, is fleeting. One summer, the rains did not come. The rivers ran dry. The granaries emptied. A famine unlike any before swept across the land. The new king, still young, still learning, watched his people suffer. The cries of children echoed through the palace gates. The weight of his crown felt heavier than any sword. He called upon his council, but no one had answers. Night after night, he sat by the window, staring into the barren horizon, the ghost of his father's voice whispering in memory. Then, one night, his mother, the aging queen, entered quietly. She held out a small velvet pouch. "My son, this belonged to your father, and to me, it carries not gold, not magic, but truth." She opened the pouch. Inside was the diamond ring. The diamond still gleamed, faint but eternal. He turned it in his hands, and beneath the stone, the message. He unfolded the parchment. The same 3 words, now faded, but still alive. "This too shall pass." The young king closed his eyes, and something within him changed. He rose the next morning, not with despair, but with resolve. He called upon his people to unite, to share, to build, to plant. He opened the royal granaries. He sold his own jewels to buy grain from distant lands. The famine still burned, but the people endured. And then, one morning, dark clouds gathered. The sky broke open. Finally, the earth got the rain it desperately needed. The king stepped out into the storm, lifted his face to the heavens, and whispered the same words that had guided generations before him. This too shall pass. From that day forward, the ring was passed from ruler to ruler, not just a piece of wealth, but a mark of truth. It carried no power, except the wisdom to endure both joy and sorrow. And through every age, in times of war and peace, in love and loss, those words whispered across generations, this too shall pass. The Buddhists call it anicca. Anicca means impermanence or inconstancy. Central to Buddhist philosophy is one of the three marks of existence. It is the doctrine that all physical and mental phenomena are temporary, constantly changing, and ultimately unstable, a truth that humbles great kings and heals hearts. So when darkness surrounds you, or triumph blinds you, remember those timeless words, this too shall pass. Check out the Brightside Stories for more ancient wisdom.